Balatro, the game about jokers that everyone starts playing by accident, but then you yourself turn into a joker when it's 3 a.m. and you said one more run 5 hours ago. Do you see this silly little challenge tab here? I went on a deep dive of each one, and speedrunners are getting ungodly good at each of these. Let's learn about each of these challenges and how speedrunners are breaking Balatro. Our first challenge is the omelet, showcased by Sobolev2000 on speedrun.com, and whose challenge runs we'll be showcasing throughout the video today. The rules for this excellent speedrun are: all blinds give no reward money, extra hands no longer earn money, and earn no interest at the end of a round. The key here is to sell your eggs at the opportune time. Too early and you might end up with bad jokers that don't scale, or too late and you might expire before you can use your money. Sobolev is able to find many foil jokers here, along with a credit card, to get a cracking world record of 2 minutes and 51 seconds. Our second run is 15-minute city, and this run prioritizes straights and non-face cards. The rules are: eternal ride the bus and eternal shortcut, eternal cards can't be sold or destroyed, and no aces, 3s, or 2s in the starting deck. Ride the Bus adds a +1 mult added for every hand you play without a scoring face card, so you could still play face cards safely as long as they don't score. This is the primary mechanic for this run, as Sobolev continuously prioritizes hands that do not score with face cards, the key one being high card hands. Shortcut allows gapped straights to be played, however this proves to be difficult to click quickly, as more clicking is obviously slower. By finding the shortcut card here that adds a 0.25 mult every skipped blind, Sobolev quickly scales throughout the run to get a 2 minute and 39 second world record. Welcome to The Rich Get Richer, where the chips are made up and the points don't matter. The rules here are: chips cannot exceed the current dollar amount and starting with $100. Knowing that your chip amount can only get so high, this run will focus on gaining larger and scalable mults in addition to keeping your savings high. Because Sobolev starts the run with 2 polychrome tags, we receive jokers with polychrome that give 1.5 times mult, which is hugely important for scaling. Between keeping the savings high, playing high cards, and scaling mults, this run ends in a world record of 2 minutes and 28 seconds. This next challenge speedrun requires sharp decision making. This is on a knife's edge, and on its surface is very simple, but cutting into the run finds more complication. Starting with an eternal and pinned ceremonial dagger, and eternal cards can't be sold or destroyed, and pinned cards stay to the leftmost position. This means that the ceremonial dagger will destroy the joker to its right each round. The key to this run is constantly having a sacrificial joker available each round, while also maintaining the remaining jokers that scale in your favor. One additional key to this run is, ideally, getting lucky enough to find a way to obtain free jokers after each boss blind. This way, you can spend your hard-earned dollary dues on jokers that will be important in later boss blinds. The run cuts to the finish line in a speedy 3 minutes and 3 seconds. The X-Ray Vision speedrun imposes a rule not to your jokers or chips, but to your hand itself. The rule is simple: 1 in 4 cards are drawn face down. Knowing that this run leaves your jokers particularly unaffected, this speedrun can be ran like a normal speedrun of Balatro. These hands are dealt with typically by gaining jokers that increase base chips and mults in combination, but there are also alternative ways to uncover what cards are flipped upside down. By manipulating the sorting mechanic, you can loosely decipher the rank of the cards should you need pairs, or the suit for potential flushes. Knowing that this run prioritizes high cards, Sobolev can play quickly and hits a time of 2 minutes and 48 seconds. Similar to our first run of Omelet, the Mad World Challenge manipulates the way that we earn money in a run. The rules are: extra hands no longer earn money, earn no interest at the end of a round, and start with negative and eternal pareidolia and eternal business cards. Since pareidolia makes all cards treated as face cards, and business cards have the 1 in 2 chance of earning $2 for every face card being played, this combination trends towards players playing more cards per hand. In the early part of the speedrun, Sobolev will lean towards hands like pairs and flushes to give a higher chance of money to buy jokers. After a few antes of collecting enough jokers, the scaling allows runners to play faster high card hands as money becomes less of an issue. This run clocks in at a cool 3 minutes and 12 seconds. Up next is luxury tax, and while you would think luxury tax means you'd be rolling and swimming in money, ironically you actually have to keep your dollar amount as low as possible. The rules here are: holding -1 cards in hand for every $5 you have, and a 10 card hand size. Straight out the gate, we will want to spend the most of our money on the most lucrative jokers to keep your hand size large. Ideally, you get a few holographic or foil jokers, and burning your money on any jokers that remain to increase scores in the early game. From there, the goal goal is to improve your jokers consistently post each boss. By playing high cards and finding key jokers, Sobolev achieves a world record of 2 minutes and 45 seconds in luxury tax. Balatro will have an everlasting legacy in card games, and so will this challenge run aptly titled Non-perishable. The idea is, all jokers are eternal, and the banned jokers are Gros Michel, Ice Cream, Cavendish, Turtle Bean, Ramen, Diet Cola, Seltzer, Popcorn, Mr. Bones, Invisible Jokers, and Luchador. I also think it's particularly funny that the banned jokers in this challenge are all food related and are in fact perishable. The main mechanic to keep in mind here is that all jokers picked in this challenge will persist throughout your entire run, so locking in on powerful early game jokers here is essential. This run features an early game half joker, then supernova, hologram, hanging chad, abstract joker, and seeing double, most of which have secondary effects, to lock in a 4 minutes and 21 second run. This next challenge, titled Medusa, is a particularly hard run to not take for granted. Starting with an Eternal Marble Joker and changes all face cards to stone cards. This run really allows for quick defeats in the early game due to the added 50 chip bonus the stone cards provide in addition to your base. However, missing out on scaling your hands with mults in the mid game will almost certainly cause a failed run. This run grabs a few key mult cards like Abstract Joker and Half Joker to quickly scale with only one card played, and leaves the final boss defeated with a time of 2 minutes and 48 seconds. This next one allows you to go for double or nothing to defeat boss blinds. The idea is, all played cards become debuffed after scoring, and every card is given a red seal. Similar to the last run of Medusa, the early game is a breeze by nature of each played card being activated twice. However, we will want to focus on gaining jokers that increase our base chips, as we will mostly be playing small hands with cards that are not debuffed. This is exactly what Sobolev does by finding jokers that prioritize pairs and high cards, and quickly breaks through the bosses, resulting in a time of 3 minutes and 24 seconds. We are now halfway through these wacky speedruns, and I truly mean it when I say these runs keep getting harder and harder as we're going along. As you're watching, type in the comments and let me know which run is your favorite so far. Speaking of typing, Typecast is up next, and this forces the player to use a particular playstyle early on in the run. The rules are, when Anti-4 boss is defeated, all jokers become eternal, and also when Anti-4 boss is defeated, set your joker slots to 0. This basically means we need to rapidly find a winning joker combination in antis 1 through 3. Otherwise, we're downriver without a paddle. Otherwise, the run plays like a fairly straightforward Balatro speedrun by collecting foil and hollow jokers, with high scaling, resulting in a 3 minute and 28 second run. Much like our world today, everything is getting more and more expensive, and that is also true in this upcoming run of inflation. The rules are as follows. Start with a credit card joker, permanently raise prices by $1 on every purchase, and banned vouchers include clearance sale and liquidation. As prices for your purchases begin to increase over time in this run, another important aspect to keep in mind is that your sell prices will also scale with costs in case you need to buy cards late game. But as with many other Balatro runs, finding strong cards while prices are low is of utmost importance. The credit card allows you a bit of wiggle room with purchasing, but will only scale so much over time. The run we're watching balances this by purchasing jokers early and selling them later for stronger cards as both prices increase in tandem with each other. By performing this back and forth trade, the run easily defeats the boss blind at a time of 2 minutes and 51 seconds. Surprise! All jokers are removed from the shop in Bram Poker, and it is now everyone's problem. The rules are as follows. Jokers no longer appear in the shop, and start with an Eternal Vampire Joker, the Empress and the Emperor Tarot, and Magic Trick and Illusion vouchers. Even though jokers are unable to appear in a shop, this doesn't mean a vampire will be your sole joker for the run. You could still acquire more jokers through other means like Buffoon and Judgment packs. Sobolev prioritizes spending your early money on Arcana, Buffoon, and Spectral booster packs. By gaining an early Ceremonial Dagger and scaling up the Vampire, this run completes the final boss at a time of 5 minutes and 9 seconds. It's at this point in the challenges where the rules start to become increasingly difficult, and this is also true for our upcoming run of Fragile. The rules for Fragile are, start with 2 Eternal and negative Oops all 6s. The starting deck is now glass cards. The banned tarot cards are the Magician, the Empress, the Hierophant, the Chariot, the Devil, the Tower, and the Lovers. Banned spectral cards are Incantation, Grim, and Familiar. Banned boosters include every iteration of standard packs. Banned jokers are the Marble Joker, Vampire, Midas Mask, and Certificate. And finally, banned vouchers, Magic Trick, and Illusion. Having two Oops All Sixes jokers ensures that every glass card played, which is all of them by the way, break upon being played, and this will whittle the runner's deck down slowly over time. Additionally, there's no way to add non-glass cards to your deck in this run, so we're stuck with the glass that we have. The primary goal is to play as few cards as possible over the course of the run in order to complete antes and ensure we can make it to the endgame while also finding scalable jokers. By finding a few solid cards like a holographic drunkard, which is a particularly funny combination of words, campfire, and seltzer, this run is completed with ease at a 2 minutes and 46-second time. Okay, I can't lie. Cut the music. This run is almost identical to the run of Medusa that we saw before, like exactly the same. And the rule is as follows. Start with an Eternal Obelisk and Eternal and Negative Marble Joker. By combining a multitude of different hands, the scaling Marble Joker and some solid scaling jokers, you will surely clear this run in no time. This is exactly what Sobolev did in this run, resulting in a world record of 2 minutes and 46 seconds. And now, our final 5 runs. This next run is out of this world. No, literally, it's about rockets. The blast-off rules are as follows. 2 hands per round, 2 discards per round, 4 Joker slots, starting with an Eternal Constellation, an Eternal Rocket, and Planet Merchant and Planet Tycoon vouchers, and also banned vouchers, Grabber and Nacho Tong, and banned Joker, Burglar. Let's call it as it is. With only 2 hands and 2 discards, this is one of the toughest challenges in Balatro. With hyper minimal options for hands to play, runners need to get very lucky with card draws and joker pulls. One way to get out of the early game is to utilize flat bonuses, like we see here in the run, by grabbing bootstraps early. You'll also notice that this run is a bit slower moving, as we're not skipping every blind like other challenge runs do. This is to allow for full scaling of hand types and money bonuses each round. By building up our hands and ensuring the best possible jokers, Sobolev finishes the run and gets a world record of 5 minutes and 33 seconds. It's time for Tiny Hand Percent Speedrun, aka 5 card draw challenge. The rules are 6 discards per round, a 5 hand size, 7 joker slots, starting with a card sharp and joker, and banned jokers being Juggler, Troubadour, and Turtlebean. The most restricting element of this run is certainly the 5 hand size, knowing how limited the scoring options become. The good news is that Sobolev gets 2 very powerful jokers, Blueprint and Banner, immediately upon defeating the first boss blind to enhance the chip totals. These will become the foundation of the run to build into more powerful jokers, in defeating the final boss blind, Verdant Leaf, in 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Is it time for expensive percent? It absolutely is with this upcoming run of Golden Needle Challenge speedrun. And the rules are as follows. Discards each cost $1, there's 1 hand per round, 6 discards per round, and we start with $10, a credit card, and banned vouchers of Grabber, Nacho Tong, and a banned joker of Burglar. The realization that each blind only allows for 1 hand to be played and discards cost $1 each is a painful one. We are at least provided with a cash and credit card for the start of the run, despite this being one of the most heavily reset challenges of all. Because this run functionally has no restrictions on which jokers you can use, the speedrun is an open-ended one where you can choose your own adventure, so to speak. The run showcased here takes advantage of Fibonacci, which gives a mult boost to any hand played that contains aces, 2s, 3s, 5s, or 8s. Using this as the core of our cards played along with retriggers, this run clocks in at a 5 minute and 56 second time. Our second to last challenge of this is Cruelty, and the name certainly holds up to what you have to do in the challenge. There are only 3 rules and they're brutal. Small blinds give no reward money, big blinds give no reward money, and there are only 3 joker slots. Funny enough, this challenge favors speedrunners well, as we would mostly be skipping blinds anyways to complete a run faster. This means we're on the hunt for cash tags, which this run takes advantage of starting in Ante 3. In addition, this run benefits greatly from upgrading individual playing cards, knowing that there are only 3 jokers to multiply off of. This run luckily benefits from finding 2 negative jokers, which grants 2 additional slots, which is very neat. I would say the funny funniest part about this particular run is the ending, where Sobolev finds a Mr. Bones Joker, which allows you to functionally skip a Joker if you don't meet the chip requirement. And just like that, we've locked in a 5-minute and 37-second speedrun world record. And so, we have arrived at our final challenge, Jokerless. And the rules are probably about what you'd imagine. Jokers no longer appearing in the shop. There are 0 Joker slots. Banned tarot cards are Judgment. Banned spectral cards are Wraith and the Soul. Banned boosters include any buffoon packs. And the banned tags are Uncommon, Rare, Negative, Foil, Holographic, Polychrome, and Buffoon tags. So without any Jokers at all, the focus then becomes leveling up your hand types and cards themselves to keep the momentum going throughout the antes. This can be completed through many methods. However, the method Sobolev goes for is duplicating strong king cards and enhancing the 4-of-a-kind hand type. While leveling up 4-of-a-kind when possible, adding blue seals to cards further generates a larger chip and mult count. At the final boss blind Cerulean Bell, the multitude of enhanced kings in the deck allows Sobolev to easily defeat this challenge with a former world record time of 9 minutes and 3 seconds. If any of these challenges seemed interesting to you as a speedrun, try them out and let me know in the comments below how they went. And as always, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more speedrunning videos. Good luck and happy gambling.